Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum dear student. I hope that you all are fine with good health. My name is Samina Sarkar. I will teach you the subject of curriculum design and instruction. Today I will start the second topic, and your feedback is very important for me so I can evaluate your understanding regarding the topic. You can comment in Google Classroom if you face any difficulty about the topic. You can also email me on my email ID that is mentioned on the last slide. So let's start our topic. Let's have an overview of the topic. This is my expectation that at the end of this topic you will be able to understand the elements of curriculum and to comprehend the relationship of different elements with each other. You can see the elements of curriculum here. There are basically four elements of curriculum. The first one is objective, second one is content, third one is method, and the fourth one is evaluation. You can see that these all elements are interrelated with each other. Here is two-way arrow, which means that after formulating objectives you can go for selecting the content. But after the content selection, you will have to see whether this content is corresponding to the objectives or not. Likewise, after content selection, you will proceed to the selection of method. But again here, you will have to see whether the method is fulfilling the requirements of the content or objectives or not. The last step you will take, that you will go for evaluation, in which you will evaluate all the three elements. You will determine the effectiveness or quality of all things such as objectives, content, and method. Here you will evaluate the whole process. You will check the quality of each component, whether these all components are corresponding to each other or not. Now next we will see the objective or purpose. So first there is a question which arises, that how can we formulate objectives, what will be the sources, and on what grounds they can be selected or they are based. So here's the answer. The objective should be based on the social aspirations of the society. It means that when you're going to design the curriculum, then this curriculum should satisfy the needs or aspirations of the society. The moral, the ethical values, the traditions, the cultural values or traditions the society wants to transmit in its generation, the curriculum should perform that function for the society. Then curriculum should be based on the goals and aims of the particular program or school. It should develop all necessary knowledge, skills, and attitude in the learners, which are fundamental requirement of that particular program. The next thing, for formulating the objectives, you should remember the Bloom's taxonomy. You have already read in the educational assessment the subject in the previous semester, because it is very helpful while you are going to formulate objectives for any particular level or grade. For example, what are the categories in cognitive domain of Bloom's? If you remember, the first is remember, the second is understand, the third is analyze, then synthesize and evaluation. At first stage, the child is only able to remember the things or to rote memorize the thing, but he is unable to grasp the meaning of the concept. He only can memorize 1, 2 or alphabet ABC, but cannot make words or plus minus questions. So we have to formulate the objectives according to the cognitive level or effective level that is related to the interest of the students, how to capture the interest of the students. Then the psychomotor domain, it means that whether the child is able to perform the physical task which involves muscular skills or not. Then objectives should be based on the learner's interest and their motor skills, or they can perform the physical. Next, we will see that how the objective is defined. Objective is defined as a statement of what the learner will do as an outcome of instruction and a statement of change in the behavior of the learner as a result of the instruction or training. It means that the objectives are ultimately the outcomes. They should be the outcome. They should be demonstrated in the learner's behavior, learner's positive behavior as a result of the instruction or the training. Objectives are generally written in the terms of learner's performance or behavior. And one more important thing, that the learning objectives must be SMART. S stands for specific, M stands for measurable, A for achievable, R for realistic or result oriented, and the T means time frame. So specific means that there might be so many objectives you can select for the students, but you should specify them according to the level and need of the students. Measurable means that they should be defined in terms of quantitative or qualitative terms. It means when we assess the students in terms of midterm paper quiz, we take presentations of the students, we take the final term exam. These all are based on the quantitative description of the performance, or we can give some qualitative description on their performance like good, bad, excellent or average. So the objective should be defined in measurable form. Then achievable, it means that they can be achieved easily. They should not be so high to achieve. They should be achievable for the students. They should not be too much high. Realistic or result oriented, then the objectives should be realistic. It means that if we design such curriculum that is very successful in foreign countries, but here we don't have resources or equipment to implement it, that it would not be realistic in our context. I am talking about the Pakistani context. So we have to keep in the mind the context of the country or the province or the school also. Then time frame, it means that we should set such objectives by keeping in mind the time period, like 1 year or 1 semester. It should not be so much lengthy to not be achieved in a given time period. Then the next is the phase of content or content selection. The content is based on knowledge like maths, English, science, Urdu, social studies, Islamiyat. Or it outlines or describes behavior and values by developing skills. It is based on different theories. Then it should cater the ideology of the society. For example, we belong to Muslim society, so the content should be based on the Muslim values. And then it is based on the learning theories of knowledge. Then it should cater the ideology, vocational point of view, and technical consideration. It means that it should equip the students with sufficient knowledge and skills that they can enter in any profession they want to enter. Now there are the principles of content selection. The first principle is the self-sufficiency. Self-sufficiency means the content should be self-sufficient, which require less teaching effort and educational resources, less learners' effort, but more results and effective learning outcomes, and most economical manner. It should be sufficient enough that a teacher or learner does not have to waste extra energy for teaching and learning process. Then significance, the content should be significant from the future point of view. It should contribute to the well-being of the learners, contribute to the basic ideas to achieve overall aim of the curriculum for which the curriculum was designed, and it should develop appropriate learning skills. Then the validity. Validity, it means that it should contribute for the well-being of the students, or it should be based on the prior experience of the learner, their education and social values, and should be valid in that particular context. Utility means that the content should be useful from the present or future point of view of the student. Then the student should be able to learn that particular content. Then feasibility means that it should have sufficient resources, time, and teachers should be experts, and it should consider the nature of the learners, the styles of the learners, the needs of the learners. Okay, then comes the principles of organizing the learning contents. It is according to Palmer 1992. He said that there should be a balance in the curriculum. There should be balance at all levels regarding the concept. They should not be overcrowded at any stage. It should not happen that grade 6 there are too many subjects and at grade 7 there are only few subjects. It means that you are going to overcrowd the grade 7 or 6. There should be connection. Articulations mean there should be connection between different concepts. There should not be overlap, there should not be any gaps, but there should be an articulation at any level. Then the sequence. The sequence means that there should be a logical arrangement of subject matter. It refers to the deepening and broadening of content as it is taken up in the higher level. Logical order means that the curriculum should proceed from easy to complex level. There should be an order. If the child at the first stage is able to memorize a thing, then at the next stage there should be such subjects which promote the understanding of the subject matter. Then there should be continuity. When the learners proceed to next level, he will be able to proceed to the next level of Bloom's taxonomy. It means that he should be able to apply his or her knowledge in real life also, in their daily life also. Then there should be integration. There should be integration or relationship of all subjects with each other. Next element is the method. It means that there should be an appropriate method selection for any particular level or for any subjects. It deals with the teaching and learning experiences that are provided to the learners. It involves organization strategies, classroom management strategies. The teaching method should be flexible and it should facilitate learning. Then it should stimulate the learner's desire to develop the cognitive, affective, and psychomotor, social, spiritual domain of the individual. It is concerned with the all-round development of the individual. Then in the choice of teaching method, learning style of the students, their needs, their interests should be considered. Otherwise, the curriculum cannot be implemented in true spirit or manner. The last element is concerned with the evaluation. Evaluation will address following questions at the last stage. Whether content was based on the aims and objectives of the curriculum, as we already discussed. Whether appropriate methods were selected to address the content and purpose. Then, what is the effectiveness of method and learning experiences used? Whether the method were appropriate or the learning experiences were appropriate or the learning objectives were appropriate or they were all corresponding to each other or not. Then, how was the suitability and appropriateness of the curriculum in answering social needs? Whether your curriculum was corresponding to the social needs or was satisfying the social needs and aspirations of the society or not. The basic purpose of evaluation is here to provide the feedback to the planner who designed the curriculum, the learners, the teachers, industry, and society. Then it provides a rationale for making changes. If you find some weaknesses, then you can remove at any stage. In conducting evaluation, judgments must be made regarding inputs, means, what were the resources, content, the appropriateness of the content, then the output, it means the results of the students, and outcomes of the whole learning process, whether the all learning process was successful or some with some deficiencies or weakness. So here we can determine the effectiveness of the effectiveness of the curriculum or the overall program we offered. This is my contact information. You can email me if you have any kind of difficulty after this lecture. You can comment in the Google Classroom. Inshallah, I will answer you. Thank you so much. Have a good day.